All right, thanks for joining this morning, media. We have Tierra, Ruffin-Pratt, and Sydney Wiese. We'll start with Tukney New and LA Times.
Hey Tierra, it's been a few days or a few games since you've been back. Just how are you feeling physically, getting back into the lineup and adjusting to your role coming off the bench?
I'm feeling good. Just getting back into the flow of things. My role is the same, whether it's starting or coming off the bench, doesn't really matter. Be a defensive presence for my team. My team still looks to me the same, whether I'm coming off the bench or in the starting lineup. So I'm feeling good, feeling great. Just ready to get back on the floor and play another game.
You have a follow-up?
No.
Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Tierra, just for you, how I know your role stays the same, but like, how do you stay ready when you're like figuring out like what you can contribute to the team coming off the bench?
I prepare the same way. I'm always ready. It doesn't change what I do, but I'm starting to coming off the bench. It's the same. Bring the same energy, play the same way, play the same minutes.
Thank you.
Jeff Simstead, do you have a question? Jeff, do you have a question?
I do. How do you guys, with the momentum that you guys have gathered with these wins, what are you guys working on to keep that going?
We're doing the same thing, focusing on us. We know that we are the only team that can beat us. So if we stay focused on us and perfecting what we do, and doing that every night, trying to play at the highest level every single day, it'll only make us better. We kind of focus on us more than our opponents because that's what's important, being the best version of us at the end of the day.
Tukney.
This is a non-basketball question, but we're more than halfway through the season now. How do you feel like the Social Justice Council's mission has gone? How do you think you guys have done in terms of amplifying the voices of the players when it comes to social injustices you've seen while in the bubble?
I think we're doing a great job honoring different women who've been killed and getting them names out there for people who don't know. There are a lot of women that have been killed by the police that names haven't been spoken. So we're doing an excellent job of getting those people and bringing awareness to those people and their families. As a league, we're kind of standing by each other, trying to use our platform as best as we can, getting in touch with those families and speaking to those families and trying to help them as much as we can to bring awareness to what's going on in their situations, because it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but we're still trying to bring justice to people like Breonna Taylor.
Knowing your own history in that, what's it been like speaking to some of these families? Maybe, I don't know if you've spoken to them before, but just getting to hear their perspectives and talk to mothers and stuff like that who've been through what they've been through.
It gets tough. It brings back the same memories for me. But it's always good to hear somebody else's story and let them know that they're not in it alone, and there are people who have gone through it and are going through it with them. So just being able to hear their stories is always great, giving them the open communication to be able to speak about it, not just within their families, but on a platform bigger than what they may have. So we're talking to pretty much all the families of the women that we've honored. We're talking to those people's families. The other day we were on a call with, I think, 5 mothers and a sister of women that have been killed, whether it's actually by police or in police custody. So we're able to hear them stories and they're emotional and they're touching and they give us a greater sense of what we're doing, that it's not about us really, it's about them and to let them know that we're fighting for them.
Thank you, TRP.
You're welcome.
All right, we got Adam, Jeff, and Tukni here. So we'll start with Jeff, 1 to 2 questions for Sydney.
Hi, Sydney. You guys having fun yet?
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Having fun with the wins, finally getting some wins, getting some momentum together. It's nice to see. And does fun breed winning?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a game. And so if you're not enjoying it and if you're not enjoying who you're playing with, it makes things a lot harder than it has to be. And so I think that we've really embraced the challenges that have come with each game, the quick turnarounds, and we really enjoy each other's company and we love playing together. And so there's a lot of really good basketball players on this team. So it makes our jobs really fun. And so winning obviously helps that, but I think more than that, we're playing the right way and our intentions are to play the right way as consistently as we can. And that adds to our joy.
Adam Grossbard, LA Daily News.
Hey, Sydney, as you've, the last 2 years, figured out like exactly what your role can be to help this team, how has it helped you having a head coach who has like very famously had success as a role player?
He's been, what I appreciate about Coach Fish and our staff is they pour belief into everybody. And his experience as a player allows him to understand on a different level how important each piece is. And so obviously roles can vary throughout even the course of a season, but even a game. And so from game to game, your number might be called for different purposes. And so that's the beauty of basketball too, is understanding, okay, I want to contribute any way that I can in order to help our team win. And I think we have a lot of people who have mindsets like that across the board. And Coach Fish, ever since he got here, he's been pouring into us and has been speaking belief into us and has shared his stories, his experiences from various seasons. And so he has a bunch of credibility when it comes to playing your role as best as you can in a big picture sense to get to where we want to go as a group.
Was there any story that he told you that really helped things click into place?
I think there's so many stories and it's tough to keep track of, but I know that recently he shared from, I think it was the 2001 season, he was hurt for majority of the season and he came back and he was thrown into the starting spot right away. And he was playing really well going into playoffs. And then I think in playoffs too, he was shooting a very high percentage, playing efficiently. And then since they won every game in those series leading up to the finals. And so they had an extended rest period. And those practices, those rest days, it was more of a mental battle of getting prepared for the finals. And he had never been in that position before as a starter going into the finals. And it became a mind game within himself. And he sort of, I think his shooting percentage started to go down and he got moved out of the starting lineup. He wasn't out there in the big moments. And he had to remind himself, as long as we win the game, that's all that matters. And obviously as a competitor, you want to be the best that you can be at all times. You don't want to think about the opponent. Even it's a competition just within yourself. And so he had to reel it back in, get his mind right, make sure that, however his name was called, that he can contribute the best that he could, while also hoping to get himself in a position to contribute in the big moments. But ultimately it's about the team. And so that's what he always falls back on, is how can you fit within what's best for the team, whatever that looks like, and embracing that.
Thanks, Sydney. Last up, Tukni New and LA Times.
Hey, Sydney. You obviously seem like a pretty joyful person, especially when you get to be playing basketball all the time. But we've heard other players kind of talk about the mental toll of being in the bubble and being away from your family and things like that. How do you take care of that part for yourself so you can be at your best when you're on the court?
Fortunately, I enjoy who I live with and who I get to play with. And so that helps a lot because even though I'm away from family and friends, I really do. This is my family and I enjoy learning from them, being with them, walking through these days with them. So that has been helpful for me to be connected with amazing people, even away from the game, and they're within our organization, and coaches as well. And then I think too, my foundation is faith-based. And so if I need to take a step back, listen to some sermons, listen to some podcasts, step away from my phone and get lost in a book, that helps me too. Music helps me. And then I think keeping as much pressure off of how sometimes it can feel so big what we're doing, but it's really small in comparison to many other things out there. And so I like to keep in touch with friends and family and hear how they're doing. I actually don't even really like to answer how I'm doing, because I just want to hear how other people are doing. And then obviously getting the job done in here and enjoying as much as I can who I'm around, learning how to cook. There's so many things. There's so many good things. And so I think ultimately, long story long, it's all a perspective thing. It's all how you view it and how you embrace each situation and being grateful for it.
To kind of to that end, speaking about perspective, we were just talking to TRP about the Social Justice Council and kind of speaking to different families of victims of police violence, police brutality. What's that experience been like for you, just to hear their stories?
Incredibly powerful. We had a call on Sunday with mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers of victims whose lives were taken by police throughout these years, and they were pissed off, they were sad, they were hurt, and that is their life. And so with our platform, we've been given an amazing opportunity to shed light and to amplify and to share stories and to say their names. But hearing them share their realities, it hit home for me that that is their whole life. They carry this hurt and this pain with them in every breath that they take. And so it makes it pretty simple to play a basketball game, and you want to put your best foot forward and do what you can and do the best to the best of your abilities, do your job and be an amazing teammate, and enjoy this. And I think when you hear stories like that, it's how could you not enjoy this? We are very fortunate. We are very fortunate to do this. And we want to do what we can to honor all those victims while also trying to make real change happen, to make real conversations take place, uncomfortable conversations, necessary conversations, and then continue to seek active ways that we can have shift take place to make a better environment and reality for everybody across the board. And so perspective is everything. And so when you have stories like that of real experiences of pain and hurt, we want to make sure that we honor all those families as best as we can.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you.